Namaste. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to class. Hopefully you've had a nice night's sleep, or if it's in the middle of the day, you still had a nice night's sleep and are ready to practice. So today, even before we begin the rest of our practice, I want us to start in Shavasana, death pose, okay? So find yourself a place where you can stretch yourself out now at the beginning of practice. Just looking for a little place. Find a nice place to recline. Don't feel trapped by your mat. Take your legs apart, arms away from your body. Push into your head and lift up your shoulders and roll your shoulder blades down behind you, down below. Notice the breath without changing it. Just notice where the breath begins to happen. Shavasana, corpse pose, this little taste of death. This letting your body surrender to the floor. Let your body be heavy, muscles, tendons, ligaments melting to the floor. Relax your jaw. Just letting your body sink into the floor. Keep your breath soft and shallow, just enough to sustain you. Finding any tension in the body, sending your energy there and let it melt. And then slowly and gently bring some movement into the fingers, the toes, your face. And then begin to bend the knees. Place the feet on the floor. Lift your hips off the floor and take your hips further down towards your heels for a moment. And then bring your knees into the chest, little side to side. Just a little rocking. Putting your feet back on the floor. Lift your hips one more time off. Swish them a little bit side to side. Rock the hips over to one side and then curl up to the other side in embryo pose. Curling up, finding the C curve of your spine. And then gently take your upper arm and place it on the floor in front of your face. Keep your chin tucked into your chest. Begin to spiral up. Coming up out of embryo and finding any comfortable seat for a moment. Just representing the body's mortality and our rebirth. The eyes at a soft gaze or completely closed, going within the body. Withdrawing the senses and going within. Bringing the hands into the heart, Anjali Mudra. I'm going to start the practice this morning with the Sanskrit chant. And it says, from the unreal, lead us to the real. From darkness, lead us to light. And from death, lead us to immortality. Reminding us of our true immortal nature. Om Asato Ma Satkamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityoma Amritam Gamaya. Taking a moment, finding your intention for the practice. What do you need today? Letting that thought permeate your body, your mind, and thinking of someone or something to which to dedicate your practice today. And letting that thought permeate your body, your mind. And then slipping those thoughts into your heart. We'll bring them back at the end of the class. And then slowly, gently letting the eyes open. Go ahead and press the palms together, interlace the fingers. Make some infinity symbols with your hands. Other direction. And then press the arms away and bring them back, press them out. Press them away, up a little bit, and then knuckles toward me. Back of the palms toward me, and then knuckles toward me. Backs, palms toward me, and knuckles. Good, then open the arms broad and wide. And then from there, just a little bit to either side. Just moving the rib cage a little. Just feeling yourself waking up the ribs. And then coming back and pressing the arms away really far. Press as far as you can. Then let's take the hands back behind us, interlace the fingers there, press the knuckles to the floor, open the heart and the chest. Good. And then release it, take the arms out to front and give yourself a hug. Nice big hug. And then go, notice which one is on top, we'll take the other one on top, and then come back. The uncomfortable interlace with the fingers. Good, and then other arm on top, a little hug. Great. And then just press the walls away. Press the walls away for a moment. Let your head drop your ear over to your right shoulder, right ear to right shoulder. Come back up. Left ear to left shoulder. Keep reaching out to the left, right. Lift to both sides. And up. Good. And then let your palms just drop for a moment. Let the hands just go limp. Good. So hands are limp, shoulders are down. Shoulder blades are down. Bring the arms back into the front now. Still very soft, soft hands. And then begin to activate just the pinky finger. Just the ring finger. Keep the other ones as limp as you can. Middle finger. Index finger. And thumb. Activate the whole hand, reach out, shoulders are back and down. Good, and then we're going to place these activated palms on the floor in front of us and come into table pose. Good, so finding your table, wherever you are this morning is perfect, okay? We're going to take some cat poses. And let's just move on the exhale together, okay? Exhale, arch the spine toward the ceiling. Tuck the chin to the chest. Inhale, come back to neutral. Arch in the other direction, back of the head toward the tail, tail toward the back of the head, and inhale. Continue moving with the exhale, belly to spine, pelvic floor lifted. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, other direction. And inhale, neutral. Follow your breath. Good, and neutral. And let's go ahead and raise the left leg a little, make some circles. Other direction. Good, and then extend the left leg out to the left, press through the foot, flex the toes toward me. Good, continue to press through the heel. And then put the foot on the floor. Left foot on the floor, not the outside of the foot yet. And then press up, and now try to roll down the outside of the left foot. Just try to roll down the foot. Toes are toward me. Good. And just reaching over until you come down onto the right side. Good. Beautiful. Breathe. Arms really reaching away like you're an airplane. Bend your right elbow a little bit. Press back up. Good. And then let's take the hands back out. Peel up the outside of the foot. Peel up the whole leg. You can stretch it out again. And then bend it and bring it back. Great. Okay. Pillow out of the way. Good. Alrighty, other side. So right knee, making some circles. Other direction. And then extend out the right leg. Flex the toes toward me. Extend it out. Somewhere off the floor. And then lay the inside of the foot on the floor. Walk your hands and come up. Now try to press into the outside of the foot. Good. Just press the whole of the foot down as much as you possibly can. And then we begin to lean over to the left. Find that space. Good. You can grab a block and put it underneath your hands if you have one. And then upper arm lifted, really reach away, open heart, open chest. And then check about raising the foot up if you like. Good. Perfect. And then lay the outside of the foot down, inside of the foot down, bend your elbow, press up. Good. And then come back into your table. Lift the leg again, press through, and then bend the knee and replace it. Good. Take a cat arch toward the ceiling, tuck the chin into the chest, and take 4 or 5 breaths. Press into the hands and into the tops of the feet. Really press into the hands. Press into the tops of the feet or the balls of the foot if you have them curled under. With feet and hands pressing and spine arching. And then on your next inhale, come back into neutral. And then curl the tailbone toward the back of the head toward the tailbone. Again, pressing into the floor, hands and feet, arching in the opposite direction. One more breath. And then on your inhale, back into neutral. Good. Walk your hands up and come into kneeling for just a moment. Great. So let's take our left leg out. Find our external rotation. Just finding it for a moment. Put your knee over your ankle and make sure you can't see your foot or anything if you're from up above. Of course, you can see it if you bend over. But if you're up above and tall, you can't see your foot, your heel, everything is completely hidden because it's underneath your leg. Good. Arms out to the side. Great. And then arms up overhead. Great. And then hands into the heart. And just release that for a moment. Just notice that rotation at the groin. And notice that your leg is parallel to the floor right now. Your thigh bone is parallel to the floor. I just want you to think about that. What effort is required for that leg to be parallel to the floor. Right now, of course, you're on your right knee. And then release that leg. Good. And now right leg, external rotation, rotating the leg. Be sure you stack, make sure you can't see your ankle. If you're looking from above, of course you can see it if you gaze down and find it. Okay, so stay up, upright, look over, make sure you can't see it. And then arms up and out. You decide. Palms up, palms down. What helps you feel the best? Open, broad. Then release the arms and just be with the leg for a minute. And notice that it's parallel to the floor. Without a lot of effort, it's parallel to the floor. Gravity is your friend right now. Okay, notice your left leg is just planted. It is not abducted. It's just right underneath you. solidly supporting your left hip. Good, and then come down. Great, so let's sit back, curl the toes under, sit back on your heels. Sitting back on the heels for a moment. Put a little pressure and do a tiny little cat pose right here, okay? So we're on our heels, so I want you to pull in one direction, get a C curve, and then slowly roll onto the front side of your sit bones. So you're rolling your sit bones over your heels. Come back up. Just notice the relationship of the sit bones to the heels. Take it slowly. Pull the belly into the spine. Pull, tuck, pull, tuck. Come back through neutral. Pull the spine into the belly. Pull it in, pull it in. And come into neutral. Good. Let's do toe balance. So up on our toes. Just trying to get our thighs again somewhat parallel to the floor. Hands on your legs or at namaskar, whatever you like. And then lift the pelvic floor, lift the belly. You're going to lift your body and stay on the ball of the foot. Okay? Up on the ball of the foot. Great. And then relax it. Excellent. Okay. Great. So just be still for a moment. Just being really still. Finding your Tadasana. You can relax the pelvic floor and the belly and just take some nice deep breaths into the belly. Just finding equilibrium in the body. Ask yourself, do I have more weight on my right or my left? On the front part of the body or the back part of the body? Do I find my arches in my feet? Just noticing your state of equilibrium. Good, and then on next inhale, let's open our eyes. Perfect, okay. So spread the leg apart, nice and far, okay? And we're gonna be paying attention to where we just did that external rotation right here at the groin area, okay, right there. So we're gonna externally rotate the left leg. Straight leg initially. And kick out the right heel, just a tiny bit, okay? Spine is upright. And then we're going to bend the knee and see how far we need to push that back leg back to get this almost parallel. We're just looking and then straightening, okay? So not locking as you straighten, don't be hard on the knee, okay? So bend and straighten. If you feel overly tense, don't worry about parallel, just bring it together. But some of you are ready to try and look for what stance is required for that parallel thigh that you can easily get when you're kneeling. In and out slowly. And push up, unrotate. Go ahead and kick the left heel out a little bit and rotate the right leg, okay? Upright spine, so I'm not leaning any over to the side. Upright spine, pelvic floor is balanced and lifted, belly is lifted, everything's in. I'm gonna bend the knee and back up. So where you're gonna feel the pull is on the opposite leg. So just feeling what you feel. If you need to, shorten your stance. Don't even worry about parallel. Parallel is not necessarily a goal, but as you saw on the floor, it is a possibility. Okay. It depends upon the ability to adduct your back leg, to pull it away from the midline. And that depends upon the strength and lengthening of the muscles in the groin. Psoas that we worked on Tuesday is very much involved here. One more time. and up. And unrotate both legs. Let's heel toe, heel toe. We want to relax the psoas, relax the groin. Find Tadasana and breathe. Soft bottom, soft belly, soft shoulders, soft chest, soft jaw. We're going to need to re-engage, so let it go for a moment. That little respite. And then on your next inhale, flutter your eyes open. Okay, let's re-engage. Lift the pelvic floor, pull in the belly, shoulders back and down, chest lifted and engaged. Ribs are tucked in, everything is in, okay? Let's go back. This time let's start on the right side, just to change it up. Notice the groin, feel how it's feeling. If that was too much for you, shorten your stance. It's not important parallel, but I want you to see where the stop comes from in your own body, okay? Externally rotate the right leg. Kick out the left heel just a tiny bit to give you more stability. Good. Your belly button was front and center, and right now it's a little bit over to the right, as it should be. Good. Pelvic floor is lifted, belly in. Great. Let's bend the knee to see where you are. And arms up into warrior two. Gazing out over your fingers. Pull in the belly, breathe in the chest. Not the upper chest. Breathe in the area. If you had a sports bra wrapped around you, that's where you'd be breathing. So let's inhale, arms overhead, straighten the leg, look forward. Exhale, go to the side, don't lean to the side, look to the side. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, down. Inhale, coming up. And exhale, down. We're going to stay this time, stay. And then lean, lean, lean. Get a long line of energy. Open your heart and chest toward me a little bit. Go ahead and rest your hand on your right leg. And then left arm initially up to the ceiling, palm facing me. Big fingers to start. Open your heart, open your chest. Flip the palm so it faces to the right. And then tuck the arm in, close to the ear, getting a diagonal line. Left fingertips to left outside of foot. Good. Don't collapse into the pose. If you'd like, you can raise your right arm for a moment just to make sure you're not dumping into your leg. And then straighten the knee and find your triangle. Beautiful. Excellent. Let's come back into warrior two before we, that's it, right back into warrior two. And then up and unrotate, hands to the heart. Let's rotate over, other side, right heel's kicked out. Good. You just relax the arms for a moment if you'd like. Pull in the pelvic floor, belly in, everything in. And then bend the knee, arms reaching out. Really open up right side as well as left side. Gazing out over your fingertips. And then inhale, gaze forward, straighten the leg. Exhale, bend the knee, look to the left. Inhale, up. Exhale, to the left. Inhale, up. Exhale to the left, and we'll stay. Gazing out. And now reaching out to the left side. Good. You can rest your hand somewhere on your left thigh. Reach the arm up, face me, open the whole of the right shoulder. Flip the palm toward the left side. And then tuck in the arm close to your ear. Don't let it go forward. Lean it back close to your ear. And if you'd like, you can raise the left arm just to make sure you have that diagonal line. And then you're going to straighten the leg and look for your triangle. Perfect. Really opening the heart, opening the shoulders. Good. And then come back through neutral, through our warrior two. Arms up overhead, come back front and center, hands into the heart. And then come back in through to your Tadasana. Take another 6 or 8 breaths, softening anything you can soften for just a 30-second respite. Good, and then on your next inhale, letting your eyes flutter open, okay? So I want us to play with this area again, but I want us to think about how it affects us when we're on train tracks rather than on a one balance bar, okay? So in that, we're on, where we're like on a balance bar, both legs are lined up, arch to heel. And when we're on train tracks, we're on 2 separate ones, okay? So let's go ahead over to the right side of your mat. Just be there for a moment. Find your Tadasana. And then go ahead and step your left foot back. This is flag pose. Arms can reach up for a moment, just being in flag. Good. And then I want you to think about pulling your torso away as you roll down your left heel into a warrior two. And look down and make sure that you're aligned. Just open up differently. And then coming back up, roll the leg, heel back up into flag. Press through the heel. And then let's go ahead and step up. Great, okay? We can do the same side, stay at the same side and do the other leg. Well, I can't because I'm gonna be against the wall, okay? So now I'm over to the left side of my mat. Great. And I'm gonna step back my right foot, take a nice inhale, exhale, right foot back, train tracks. Arms can reach up into flag pose, pull the belly in, lift through the pelvic floor. And then slowly you're opening out your whole right side as you roll the right heel down and open up into warrior two. So this is not our warrior 1.5. This is a full-on warrior two. And then we're going to close it back down, pull up the back heel, transitioning back to flat. Good. And then exhale, come back. Great. So I'm going to do it to the front. You guys can stay exactly where you were on either side of your mat, or you're welcome to face me just like this, okay? So we're going to add that move into our sun salute. And just to remind those of you who are not inverting, that sun salute has a few inversions in it. So Hasta Padasana, you can look forward rather than folding. And mountain pose, you can come into plank rather than mountain, okay? So just to make sure you are aware of those inversions, and you don't invert if you're on the first few days of your cycle. You don't invert if you have gastric reflux, especially active gastric. You don't invert if you have glaucoma, eye pressure problems, okay? So come into the front, bring the hands into the heart. Take a nice inhale. As you exhale, lower the arms and flip the palms, open the heart. Inhale, arms up, gaze up. Exhale, coming forward. Not inverting, look forward, inverting, hold. Inhale, gazing forward. Exhale, stepping our left leg back into a lunge, right on a train track. Perfect. Good. We're going to slowly sweep up the left arm, Coming up into our flag. Great. And then slowly roll down. Good, just like we did. We're going to come back, roll it up, all the way back up. Lower the hands and step to plank. Long line of energy, plank pose. Drop to our knees, and any way you can make it to the floor. Just don't collapse in your shoulders. Coming down, and then baby cobras, little baby cobra. I'm coming up more than I would, or you won't see me at all. Okay. And then curl the toes under, find your mountain, often called downward facing dog. And then inhale, look at the space between your hand. You can drop to your right knee if you'd like, but you want your left foot to be right over by your left hand. We're on train tracks, remember? Use your right arm. You can put your left arm on your left knee. Sweeping up, you can also go down to the back knee if you like, but then when you get here, you need to push back up. So you can play with opening and laying down the back leg. Back foot is on the floor, and then coming back up onto those train tracks. And slowly to the floor. Inhale, a little hop to the front, long spine. If you can, exhale, fold. And then inhale, arms to the side, coming up, all the way up. Exhale, hands into it. Good, let's do the second side, and that will be enough of that playing with that whole area of our bodies, okay? Ready? Good, take a nice inhale. Exhale, arms floating down. Inhale, flip the palms and rise up. Exhale, diving forward. Inhale, coming about halfway up. And then exhale, taking your right leg back into your lunge. I'm going to do the modified way here. So I'm going to go down to my right knee, bring my hands to my left knee. Then from right here, I'm going to push up. Good. I can take my arms up. And then see about opening wide out to the right. Come back through the train tracks. Coming back through. I'm going to put my hands back on my knee, lower to the knee. Good. Coming down, and then step to plank. Long line of energy, drop to the knees, and then making your way slowly to the floor. Inhaling into a cobra. And then curl the toes under and press into mountain or plank. If you're not inverting, try plank. You can be on your knees. And then inhale, look at the space between your hands. You can drop to your left knee if you'd like. Go ahead and take your right foot over by your right hand. If you're on your knee, put your hands on your front knee. And then let's press up. Good. Arms reaching up any way you want to get them up. And then opening, laying down the whole of the left foot. Arm coming back up, rolling all the way back over. Good. Find the floor. You can drop to your knee if you'd like, but you're going to need to come off. A little hop to the front, long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms to the sides, coming up, all the way up. And exhale, hands into arms. Release your arms. Take 5, 6, 7 breaths. Soften your pelvic floor, your belly, the whole of the trunk, total circumference of the trunk. And then on your next inhale, letting your eyes flutter open. Good. We're going to do just a little bit of a balance here, okay? Just a little bit of a balance. So just getting your legs ready. Just pacing for a moment. Moving out any imbalance you might have had. Great. We're going to externally rotate the left leg. Place the foot. Go ahead and place the foot completely. Good. And then reach the arms out to the side and overhead. Let the backs of the hands touch like that. Backs of the hands are touching up overhead. Good. And then slowly lean your body over to the right. Just leaning. So this is a viparit. It's very topsy-turvy. And then your final challenge is to take your gaze up toward your hands. Then release your hands and shoulders and arms. Release the leg. Good. Just be still for a moment. Be still. Stillness, so important to cultivate. And then externally rotating the right leg. Plant it. You can always put it against your calf if you want a little bit more of a challenge. For most of us, we want that foot on the floor as we start to add other things. So arms up, touching the back of the hands. Elbows are slightly bent. And then leaning over to the left side. Don't sink into the left hip. Pull the left hip. Keep it nice and taut. Belly's in, pelvic floor is lifted. And then as you're ready, take your challenge of taking your gaze up toward your fingers, maybe your thumbs. Breathe smoothly. And then slowly relax the arms. Bring the head back into neutral, shoulders back into neutral. Release the leg and be still. Just close your eyes or a soft gaze. Take a few breaths. Relaxing your pelvic floor, relaxing your belly. You can take a few breaths into the belly. Good. And then we're going to make our way down into our squat. Okay? So nice big squat, wherever it is for you is perfect. It's finding your squat. Relax your back. Pull in the pelvic floor and soften the back of the body. Pull in the belly and soften the back of the body. Now re-engage the back of the body as you lift your spine up toward the ceiling. So we need to re-engage and lift, and then open out to the left. And a thoracic twist. Nothing in your low back. Back into the center, and then over to the right. And back into the center. Good. And then relaxing onto your bottom. Good. Just putting the legs out in front. Squeeze the knees for a moment. And then let's do a little bit of balancing on our sit bones. Okay, so up on the tops of your sit bones, victory peace fingers, grab your big toes, and just a little bit of balancing right there. Go ahead and extend out your left leg. Doesn't have to go straight, just a little extension and back, and then right leg. and then back. Good. And then both legs together again. Squeeze, relax the groin, the area we've really been working on. So really relaxing it. Good. And then extending out both legs into Dandasana. So finding Dandasana, your right angle pose. Good. So right now, our pelvic floor is lifted, our belly is in, our legs are active. Everything is active. Our arms can just relax on our legs, holding our hands on our legs. Our feet are completely on the floor. Our heels are completely on the floor. Sorry, feet are not. They're reaching toward me and toes toward the ceiling. Good. And then slowly take the soles of the feet together as much as you can. If you can touch all of your 10 toes together, great. And then peel them apart. Touch them together, just working the ankles and peel them apart. Touch them together and peel them apart. One more time. Toes touching, all 10 if you can. Big arches between your feet, and then peel them apart. Good. Okay. So I want us to do a Psoas release for a moment. This will be, it's often called windshield wiper. Our feet are mat width apart. So that's working in that area where we were working. We're all going to lay down, but I'm just going to do it sitting for a minute so you can see. When I drop my knees over to the left, once I get there, I'm going to extend my right knee toward the floor. So let's all try it sitting for a minute. That's not so bad. Sit up, kind of like childbearing pose, okay? Sit up. Good. So feet are right on the edges of the mat. And go ahead and drop your knees to the left. You're going to roll onto the sides of your feet. Go ahead and take your right knee further toward and arch the spine. So the right knee and the right leg can be on the floor. And then back up. And then other side. Reach over, push into your arm and arch your spine. And back up. One more time to either side. It's important to arch the back. Keep all of your lumbar curve. And back. And then let's come down and do it one time, recline. Okay? So all the way down. And then drop your knees over to the left. Take the right leg further toward the floor. It doesn't need to touch the knee to the floor, just reaching toward the floor. Notice the extension in the right groin. Just notice. Arch the back. Push your shoulders into the floor. Arch your back. And then come back into neutral. And then drop your knees over to the right. Arch the spine as you go, as you're pressing your left knee toward the floor. Doesn't need to touch. Just press and feel the lengthening along the left groin. Push into your shoulders, arch. Good. And then come back into neutral. And then finding either your Shavasana, or if you want to take a minute or two to do an inversion, you decide. I'm headed for Shavasana right now. But if you'd like to do an inversion, this is the time to put it in, okay? So the rest of us are going to enjoy 3 or 4 minutes, and the rest of you are going to get shorted on your Shavasana. But if you're ready, just let go, okay? Just finding peace in the body, just like we did at the very beginning of class, this little taste of death. Just letting go. Let your breath become soft and shallow, just enough to sustain you. Let your thoughts drift away like clouds across the sky. Another one comes, watch it drift away. Don't engage with the clouds. Slowly and gently bringing your awareness into the breath, the rise, the fall of your belly or your chest. Take the mind to the senses, rolling the eyes in the sockets, moving the tongue in the mouth, wiggling your ears, wriggling your nose, beginning to swim the fingers and twinkle the toes. And then as you're ready, begin to bend the knee and place each foot on the floor. Slowly bend the knee and then other foot on the floor. Take your hips off the floor, shake them out a little. And then draw your hips over to one side, set them down, and drop your knees to the other side. Again, revisiting embryo. New possibilities, all curled up, safe and secure. And then taking your upper arm, hand on the floor close to your face. Begin to press the floor away. Keep the chin tucked into the chest until you're all the way up, and then release it. Finding your comfortable seat, your asana. Asana just means seat. So find your comfortable seat. Just letting all of the postures integrate, body, breath, mind, Trikuti, three energies coming together, body, breath, mind. Beginning to notice the breath, not changing it, just noticing it. Try to take a little bit of breath into your back ribs. Let your exhale be long and full. And as you inhale, try to spread your back ribs. Notice the circumference of your trunk, filling up the lungs with breath and extending your back ribs as much as you comfortably can. Then exhaling all the breath out. Inhaling and exhaling into the lower part of your thoracic cavity. Into the lower ribs. Continuing just a couple more breaths. And this time as you exhale, leave your ribs tiny like they are and let the diaphragm drop into your belly. The belly expands, front and sides, and exhale, pull it back. Just abdominal breathing. Inhale belly, it's really the diaphragm that's dropping down into the belly. And then exhale, let the belly come back in and relax. Just a few diaphragmatic abdominal breaths. Pranayama. Controlling, restraining the pranic energy of breath. Few more abdominal breaths. Resting your palms on your legs in whatever seat you're in, even a chair. Letting the spine be upright and finding your own breath. No more yum, no more control, just letting the universe breathe you as we slowly drift into meditation. Using a mantra to tether us to the meditation. Hum Sa. Hum Sa. I am that. I am that. Sanskrit or English. Hum Sa. Hum Sa. Hum on the inhale, Sa on the exhale. I am on the inhale, that on the Come back to the mantra, back to the mantra. Back to the mantra. Sa. I am that. Releasing the mantra, bringing yourself back into your space, into your body. Bringing the hands into the heart. Anjali. Any merit we may have earned this morning, we lift it up to the welfare of all sentient. Remembering your intention, remembering your offering, pondering those two thoughts for just a moment. And then letting those thoughts drift out of your mind, down into your heart, symbolically out of your heart into the very palms of your hands. And then lift them up and let them go off into the universe. Just let go. Bringing the hands back. Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaste. Thank you very much for coming to class. I'll be right there with you. Thank you. What a wonderful way to start my birthday. Absolutely. It started off with fireworks. That's our custom here, as you know, at 6 a.m. on the dot. And then someone else who I dearly love came by with more fireworks around 7. And it's been a full morning. So thank you. Thank you. So nice to see you. Really nice to have you here. Thank you for coming for class today. Yeah, so today's my 70th, and who would have thought that I would have been alone in my house in Guatemala when my kids were coming, and it was going to be a big old party for some of you around for my 50th. And that was a pretty dadgum big celebration, and where they had a mass and a horse rode me around the park and a carriage, and with my kids, you know, it was super marimba and a feast. It was really a big celebration, and I was hoping to do the same thing, and look where we are. So just is what it is. Just is what it is. But I'm totally happy to, cumplir 70. I feel like I've earned it. Every single one of them. So yeah, I'll feel honest when people now ask me how old am I? 70. 69 just is not that just doesn't do it, right? It's terrible to hear, just have to tell someone. So nice to have you here this morning. I just wanted to start our practice. I woke up, and in my personal meditation, all I could think about was that transition we make with every practice, from death to embryo, from Shavasana into new life, you know. And every single day for us is that, you know, it's blessings of having that little opportunity to die and then come back with a whole fresh outlook. I think that's what we get every night when we sleep. I think our sleep is also an integral part of our being. We get that little time of a sleep death that we regenerate and we come back from. So that regeneration and allowing us to have that and experience that for ourselves, I think that's super, super important. So thank you for all the birthday wishes. That's beautiful. I really appreciate it. And today, you know, like sometimes I try to do a real pranayama. Also, all I really wanted to focus on was getting it down in the lower parts of the ribs and down into the abdomen to feel the difference. That low rib space where you're expanding in your rib area and the thoracic and lower thoracic region. And then when you're really just keeping the thoracic region in and really letting the diaphragm just drop and push those organs out of the way, because that really does bring us into our more parasympathetic state of relaxation, rest and relaxation. I'm doing a meditation after my regular meditation right now with Deepak Chopra. It's one of those 21-day meditation challenges. I did it first, it's in English and in Spanish. So I did it in English for 21 days. Welcome back, Jean. Nice to have you back. And I did it in, I'm doing it in Spanish now. So, and it's so nice. So I do my regular stuff, and then I just can stay in there for another 15, 20 minutes. But I'm super enjoying it. I think that was kind of my birthday present to me, was to take as long as I wanted to for my practice these mornings. So I'm just getting up a little bit earlier, going to bed a little bit earlier, trying to be in bed by 9:30. Yeah. Anything about the practice that really resonated with you, or any questions you might have? We worked a lot at the groin. Anybody feel anything? Did you see how when you were on the floor and your leg wasn't abducted, it was just right underneath you in neutral, how that you had your thigh parallel to the floor, and yet how much psoas and hip flexor lengthening and stretch you need to open that leg out to the side and allow for that opening in the groin area? Could everybody see the big, huge difference? Could you feel it? Yeah, yeah. So most of us want to back off and are not looking for it to be parallel. But for some of you, it will be parallel. And I want those of you who it was easy to be parallel to ask yourself if you're hanging in your joints or if you're actually using your muscles for stopping you instead of like letting those ligaments lengthen. And then when you get to be my age, they won't stop you anymore. So you really want to be careful and cultivate the strength in that area of the last part of the psoas as it goes over your pelvic basket, that red, beautiful, stringy psoas muscle right there. You want to really cultivate the strength in that area, right? So the flexion is good, but we've got to have extension in that, or it doesn't benefit us.
Kamalesh, I don't know if that's what you also were referring to, but can you talk a little bit about the difference between doing Warrior 2 in a line versus the train track feet?
Yeah. So like our feet are here, and let's see if I can just take you to my feet. This camera moves. I may never get it back, but it does move. Okay. So let me just take you to my feet first. All right. So do you have my feet yet? No. Okay. Let me find where the camera is. Well, I can see one foot, but I can't see them both. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So here they are. Here's train track. Okay. Here's train track, where they're just beside each other. And I guess the camera is not. Okay. So here's train track. But when I want to, I'm just going to take them not too far apart. But when I want to do the other one, what I have to do is that leg is externally rotated, and this leg is going to kick out. So it's still going to be in one line. I don't know if you see that one line. There's one line there, and then I can roll them back. So you're just rolling on to the outside of your foot and rolling back onto the ball of the foot, basically. That's what's happening. It's the ball of the foot versus the
And when would you choose one or the other, or it's a
you have to do both.
Okay.
When you have open, you have to, you need that flexibility, and that's your leg rotation. That's the rotation of the leg. So when you're front and center, anytime you're like this with your pelvic basket, your as-is bones, your anterior superior iliac spine, front and center with your belly button front and center, which would be Warrior 1, it would be Warrior 3, it would be Tadasana. Those, your feet are on train tracks, always, okay? When you have moved apart, there you're on a balance beam from toe to heel to arch of the back foot. So just think about that balance beam. Toe, heel, arch of the back foot. Okay? So, and then when you come back again, you're back on a train track. So here, right now, my back heel is up and off the floor completely. And when I come here onto my balance beam, my heel is down and my whole back foot is down. And the arch is meeting up with my back, with my other heel, right? And then I'm coming back up again, and I'm on a train track in a warrior 1 sort of stance, but flag pose, basically. The difference between Warrior 1, which is super challenging, which is where I don't usually teach it a lot to beginners, I teach flag instead with the heel up. This is much more accessible, and that little bit of rotation that's required, just a little bit of rotation, right? But when you're going to open it all the way up, then that's what we end up calling, Sylvia, is Warrior 1.5, right? Where people are just kind of leaving their hips in the middle of those two poses and using their body, you know, swinging their torso from side to side. And it has to come from the pelvis. It has to really come from the whole pelvic area, you know? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else? Anything about alignment or thinking about it when you try it in your body? Any stops that you hit that you wonder what may have happened or how it happened?
Hi, happy birthday.
Hi, Wendy.
Yes, I was amazed by the pose. It looks so easy, but it's so not easy.
Yeah,
But that pose was so beautiful.
good, good. I have a lot of those little dancer variations where everybody will think, oh, this is easy. And then all of a sudden I add the eyes and they're like, whoa. Wow, that was challenging. Yeah. There is, Dahlia asked what name it was. That's Kamalesh. I'm kidding. I make those up all the time. I make them up, right? Nataraj, the dancer, you know, this balance pose, right? So those of you who've been to India, you've seen Nataraj like that, but you'll see, you know, like this and like that and that. And so I just make them up. You see all kinds of statues in India that are gods and goddesses doing weird things. And so anytime I see one, I think I'm going to recreate that. The Tantra walls. We have this amazing Tantra wall in Haridwar. There's a chapel on the way from Haridwar to Rishikesh that is a whole wall of sculptures. And I mean, there are people doing like, you know, weird things. And I just think it's great to try to put the body in some kind of place that it's not accustomed to being and just breathing. I just like looking at y'all. Dalia.
It's Dalila, actually.
Dalila. Is there a tilde on your E?
No, it's it's another L-A.
Uh-huh.
Dalila. I wanted to say that I really love that transition from flag or crescent lunge into warrior two. It just felt very like graceful and beautiful and very organic.
I know it's a hard transition for a lot of people, but once you sort of get that feel, it's very fluid, right? And you can feel that your leg is in that great extension of the psoas, and then you lay it down and you feel everything just smooth out in that direction, and then you pull it back up, and it really can give that whole area of the psoas, the ilia psoas there, that beautiful opening, closing, and you can really feel the movement in there. So, but it's not easy for a lot of people because it's hard. That is hard, period. It's hard. Thanks, Dalia. Dalila. I will not do dahlia again, although I must say I love dahlias. They're one of my favorite flowers in the whole world. Yeah, anybody else? Anything about poses or any alignment cues?
I have a question.
Yes, John.
Okay, and one of my what do you call it, private retreats at Mount Madonna,
Uh-huh.
I saw on the wall in the yoga studio a chart of something called the Moon Salutation.
Right.
And I looked it up online. I found about 3 different versions of it, and it developed a composite that I do regularly.
Uh-huh.
And I wondered if you were familiar with that and included in one of your classes.
I am, and I have. So if you'd like to go back onto the channel where I have all the videos of all the classes I've taught, there is one called Moon Salute. I think it's in English. I think it's in English, but if not, I'll look back myself and see at the channel. And I have a YouTube channel, John. You can just go onto YouTube and Google Ginger Hooven Kamalesh, and that's how you'll find me. And there is a moon salute there, our Mount Madonna moon salute. And, but I can also, but I'm not, that's when I was teaching English and Spanish, so I'm not sure which language it's in. So I'll have to go back and check, but if it's in Spanish, I'll do it in English.
Well, that'd be very interesting.
Okay,
Yeah.
but it's there too, so you can find it on YouTube, on the channel.
So it's
I'm sorry, I didn't mean, there's static coming from you and yeah, I'm sorry, didn't mean to cut you off. Yes.
Ginger Hooven.
Uh-huh, Hooven.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Kamalesh beside it, Ginger Hooven Kamalesh.
Come, C-U-M?
No, Kamalesh.
That's the name you use on the Mount Madonna website?
That's Babaji's name for me, right?
Yeah, so it's all three names on YouTube.
Yeah, it's just, it says Ginger Hooven Kamalesh. Only because there's more.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Okay, and if not, just email me, John, Kamalesh@mountmadonna.org. Email me and I'll send you the link, okay?
Okay, I probably can find it.
Yeah, Kamalesh@mountmadonna.org. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for joining me for my birthday. I really appreciate it. I send you much love. Thank you for your birthday, good birthday vibes. I really appreciate it.
Thank you
Nina.
very much. It was beautiful.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank